Hello and welcome back to Embodied Astrology. This is a weekly series where I share practical teachings and intuitive messages about the astrology of the week ahead so that you can work with it to embody your most authentic self and live your best life. This week we have a full moon in Scorpio, and let me just say, it's going to be kind of intense, I think. There's nothing about Scorpio that is not intense, and it's okay because intensity and purging and releasing and transforming is all a beautiful part of life. And so we're gonna really embrace this energy. We're gonna take some nice deep breaths. We're gonna move through whatever becomes challenging. What a way to kick off this video. I don't wanna scare anybody away. I just wanna be honest about what's going on. So let's talk about how we can move through this energy in a way that feels really supportive and aligned and emerge more powerful on the other side, because that's what Scorpio is all about. So I get the sense that this full moon in Scorpio is going to bring a lot of deep feelings, a lot of deep reflections, and possibly some emotional purging. So we know that full moons are a time of culmination and of reflection. And Scorpio is a sign that is about depth. It's about our mental health, death, and grief. It's about intimacy, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. There is nothing about Scorpio that is not deep. And so I think as we experience this full moon, we might experience some of these intense reflections, intense emotional releases. We also may be experiencing a culmination of a really important transformation, because Scorpio is the sign of power and transformation. This might be a moment where we are taking a pause to really celebrate our personal growth, the ways that we've developed and become more resilient over the last 6 months, perhaps what we've unearthed in some shadow work that we've been doing, and celebrating what we've learned in terms of what we're made of. Understanding that sometimes we have to do hard things, but it's really important and powerful that we experience ourselves going through hard things because we are able to see what we're made of. I really do think this full moon in Scorpio is a beautiful opportunity to reflect on that, because it is a sign about resilience and transformation and power. And if we can take some time to think about all the ways that we've grown over the last 6 months, to think about the ways that we have faced challenges head on and come out stronger the other side, this feels like a time where we can really take stock of that and to celebrate that. There's something about this full moon in Scorpio that is also deeply relational. And this comes from the idea of Scorpio being the sign that's around power and power dynamics. It's about intimate relationships, collaboration, the ways in which we share resources. And we're also experiencing some interesting Venus transits this week leading up to the full moon. On Wednesday, the 29th, we have Venus squaring the nodes. You've heard me talk about the nodes before. They are some of my favorite points to look at in a birth chart, in my True You reading specifically. And they are these points of destiny. And so when Venus is hanging out in between the nodes, there is this turning point, particularly with Venusian themes such as relationship, love, connection, values. And it's this really powerful opportunity for us to check in around our values, around our relationships. Are these themes in a place that feel supportive, that feel in alignment for our evolution? Because if not, we have this really powerful opportunity to change that. My practice for you for this full moon in Scorpio, in short, is really just to resource yourself. And when I was in meditation preparing for this episode, I really got the sense that there are 3 specific recommendations that I should give you in terms of resourcing yourself, because you may fall in different categories. So you're just gonna have to tap into your own discernment and intuition, which I always recommend, obviously, but to really feel into which of these options is best for you. So the first recommendation that I got was to ground yourself in daily routine. So when we are experiencing these times where we are in more intense, like emotional purges or reflection, or really taking stocks of the ways in which we've changed and transformed over time, grounding yourself in a daily routine or practice can be really helpful. This can be a movement practice. As a trainer, I'm always going to recommend moving your body. This can be a daily meditation practice, a journaling practice, a walk around your neighborhood, something that just allows you to create some structure into your day that grounds you in the 3D, in the physical plane, as you're experiencing all these possibly intense releases, reflections, up levels. The second recommendation that I have for you in terms of resourcing is to talk to somebody about the reflections that you're having or the feelings that you're feeling, whether that is a trusted friend or a partner or even a therapist, to use this interpersonal element of your reflection and to kind of talk through your thoughts and to help you bring a little bit more structure to the things that you've been feeling and reflecting on can be really helpful for you. And then the third thing that I got that is related, but you might need to just talk to spirit. So Scorpio, it's a very deep, mystical, mysterious type of sign. And so you might feel a deeper connection to the divine right now. Maybe you're practicing some sort of divination, like you're really working with your tarot cards right now, your pendulum, maybe just sitting in meditation and trying to connect with your higher self or spirit is a helpful practice in terms of making sense of the things that you're reflecting upon right now, is helping you reflect on the journey that you've had so far and really bringing more perspective to the transformation that you are undergoing or have just completed. So that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I love making these videos for you. If you're having some amazing insights, reflections, breakthroughs on this full moon in Scorpio, I gotta hear about them. So please go ahead and drop a comment to tell me all the interesting things that you are reflecting on now. And if this full moon in Scorpio is bringing up a lot, you need a container, a place to process the journey that you've been on and where you're going, I highly recommend booking a True You astrology reading with me. This is a really fun and supportive and expansive astrology reading experience where we connect with your authentic self and discover your unique potential through the lens of your birth chart. It is a really powerful way to go back and reflect and bring more context around some of the things that you've been experiencing, perhaps over the past 6 months or a year, and give you some clarity and direction and orientation in terms of where you want to go next. So if this sounds of interest to you, go ahead and book a time in my calendar. I cannot wait to unpack all the wisdom of your birth chart with you. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week. Happy full moon in Scorpio.